Okay, boys and girls, I'm going to show you exactly what to buy for this thing and, how I did this turbo setup. Clearly, this is a half-ass kind of deal. Pretty sure the head's cracked on this thing anyway, so this was kind of a fuck it, let's just put it on and, finish its life off. We have one more mud bog this year. In about 10 days, so I figured I'd show it to you before it goes through the mud bog, and it's fucking trashed because good chance there's gonna be a big fucking window in the side of this block by the time I'm done. Anyway, so clearly if you want a turbo in XJ, you obviously need a turbo, and 98% of people ask, well, what turbo do you get, this, that, the other thing? Well, clearly, first thing you gotta do is go on eBay, find the cheapest turbo that they got. I think this one was $101 maybe or so, and all it comes with is just the turbo. On the other one that we did, which I'll get a video of later, that one doesn't have this on it, the wastegate already, with the wastegate flange. Definitely, if I did this twice, I would definitely still get this style, because we learned on the other one that we did that you need to have an external blow-off valve, a wastegate, and it's not a lot of fun when you don't have a lot of room. In my case, I put it up here like a jerk-off, so there's plenty of room, but on his, this style would definitely be better because his is tucked way down there, and can't see it. Anyway, so clearly you need turbo. This is a T0 4E turbo off eBay. Like I said, it was about 99 bucks. It's a 63 trim, I think, or 57 trim. Anyway, you need that, and if you plan on putting this on an XJ, the other key part that you need is this thing right here. If you have a second gen Jeep, you're gonna have, get this on there. Right here, you will have your map sensor, and that's on the throttle body, obviously. On a first gen, yours is up here, like this pile of shit is. Anyway, the vacuum hose that comes off of it and goes to this part of the intake, on mine anyway, you have to put a check valve in. That check valve you can either get from Napa or Advanced or whatever your local parts store is. Just tell them you want a little check valve. That's all it is. It's, compared to my little fingers, it's that big. So that's all you need. Run it so you can't blow through the bottom end. So you can't blow through that part, more or less, but you can blow through this end. It's just so that way when you get boost pushed through the intake, it doesn't shoot back up to the map sensor, and map sensor is going to tell you to fuck off, and then this thing's going to do all kinds of crazy stuff, and you won't know what the fuck's happening. So yeah, you got to do that. That's the check valve. That's the other hard part. And then you don't have to do any of this fancy shit if you have this wastegate, but if you want to, it's doable. This is just a boost controller. Some boost controllers are only this piece and the check valve's inside. In this case, my check valve's over here and boost controller's over here. Fairly simple. Out of the hot side of the turbo into the top port of this, which says vent, and then this one says T-piece, which would be obviously this. Run that back into your wastegate. Doesn't matter, internal, external wastegate, blah blah blah. Then my other hose, which is this thing, I ran that to the blow-off valve. I have this thing cranked as hard as it'll go. Don't really know if it makes fucking difference or not, but it sounds pretty cool. So there's that. So anyway, to buy a kit, you need this blow-off, not this specific one, but a blow-off valve. I believe it's 2.5 inch. I would recommend intercooling if you're gonna do it. In my case, it doesn't really matter. Like I said, this thing is destroyed and it's not gonna last much longer. I basically made this fancy ECM cover here and just put some quality self-tappers in, and here we are. Just to block the heat from this, and I also did a quality job wrapping it with eBay heat wrap that I had left over from another project. As far as the exhaust goes, don't take my advice because it's not good. But if you look down there, basically you can run it as a horseshoe straight up and then just a 45. So if you want to know what you need, you really need a 45, a 180, and another 45 for that. I'll show you the underneath so you get the general idea anyway. Right there. It's basically just a horseshoe that runs up, and if you can, tuck it as far up there as you can, because when they use control arms, if you don't have a long arm, uppers will fucking wail into it along with your drive shaft right there. It'll freaking hit the exhaust if it's not up tight. And I will tell you that it's not a lot of fun when that pipe is fucking pinched. So, as far as the flare goes on the end of your original header pipe, you can take your original, the original flare that you had that goes back to your original exhaust, just cut it off and then weld that 90 to it. I'll show you the parts list and whatever else so you know what you're looking for. Then obviously the turbo drain, put it down an inch lower than what mine is because mine hits the connecting rod, which, like I said, once again, thing is junk. There's no fucking floor left of it anywhere. Unibody is gone, and yeah, that's from picking it up with the forklift like 40 times. So yeah, but okay, so recap. Oil feed, oil drain, preferably get a wastegate. It's gonna make your life a lot fucking easier. Already on the turbo, they give you a V-band already with it, like that little tiny piece in there they give you, and then I just welded this half-ass pipe on. Oil feed line, it's very easy. Right there, originally you will have a oil pressure sensor. I took mine out and didn't put it back because I don't want to fucking know what mine is. It's not good, I know that. Don't do two T-pieces like that. Be, normal about it, and just buy yourself a hose that's long enough. This one isn't. Or, there's a couple other ways that you can do it, which I'm not even going to bother talking about right now. But yeah, that's pretty much it. And I mean, honestly, all you're doing is getting the pressure from there down into that intake, and that is it. There's no other tips or tricks or anything else like that. There's nothing special that you have to do. You don't got to change tuning and this and that, blah blah blah. Yes, it runs lean on the high end if you don't have bigger injectors and a fuel system, but like I said, if you are just planning on putting it on a wood speeder, then fuck it, you don't need it. And the last final step that I figured I might mention, because I'm sure 90% of you are going to be like, yeah, fuck it, I'm just putting it through the hood like this. Right here, your power steering line originally runs on this side and around. It's pretty close over here, so I took it off and bent it so it runs this way. It comes down here instead now, and then if you want to, also, you can run your exhaust up through that little hole. I won't lie to you, it's really tight to do, but it's doable. And then also, just obviously watch your fuel lines, because those are my two. Since this is a Renex system, I have two. Probably most of the guys watching this are only going to have one, because you have a second gen. But watch those fuel lines. If you can, cut them down, which is what I had to do with these. And just push them closer to the motor. Anyway, here's the parts list that I'll show you guys. Oh, this is a pain, but so this is what I got. The boost controller, 35 bucks. Then I got the oil drain feed line, 26 bucks. I had two of those 2.5 inch 90-degree boots. The universal blow off, 32 bucks. 105 on that turbo. I lied to you guys, it wasn't 100. And that comes, like I said, with that V-band and the clamp and the gasket and blah blah blah. I bought 30-pound 4-hole injectors. I didn't put them in because we tried that on the other one and it was just too much fuel for it with nothing else done. Then we also have a 2-inch to 2.5 reducer. The hot side on this turbo is 2-inch, and you want 2.5 to match your throttle body. The other fun part, you need a 2-inch OD steel 45, 90, and a 180. That's the one I bought. That's the cheapest one that you can find, or at least I found anyway. This, you need the King Jong-hoon fucking turbo oil pan drain plug adapter. That basically just drill a hole in the oil pan, put that on, and the 10AN is the same as this, you know, as this drain line, so that way you can get the oil back. This is the other kind of wastegate I was talking about. If you buy the other turbo that doesn't have a wastegate on it, and you don't really have much of a choice but to have one, this is the one that I would buy again. It's a 44mm, and yeah. Then also, obviously, you're going to need that T3 flange. Best thing to do with that is just like we did here, which this one's covered so you can't really see it. Take a piece of 2.5-inch pipe, put it in a vise, you know, just a regular old bench vise like that, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Just crimp it a little bit, get it close enough, and then weld it on up, and that's pretty much it. I know this is a long dragged on video of a bunch of nonsense and everyone's going to look at it and be like, this fucking kid's got to be kidding me. But, hey, if you want something to work, we can make it work. It's not going to be pretty, but it'll work. So, if you got any questions and want to know how to do it the correct way, don't ask me. I don't know. I do everything half-assed, especially with this. So, that's that.